Welcome to the Martha Bassett Show, coming to you from the historic Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina, a home for music in the heart of the foothills. This is a special show to launch NC Trail Days this weekend in Elkin. The Martha Bassett Show features national artists, local talent, and the music of Martha Bassett. Tonight on the show, we welcome the Dan River Girls, Sarah Kate Morgan, and the American songster Dom Flemons. We have a great night with some of the finest Americana music you'll ever hear. Let's get started with Martha and the Dan River Girls performing the Patsy Cline classic, Got a Lot of Rhythm in My Soul.
Come on, Dad, get with the jive. Let's let them know that we're alive until the break of dawn. We'll yell for more, more, more. Gonna live it up and tear it down in the groove and paint the town. Got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Well, now, baby, baby, let's go tonight together, you and me. Baby, baby, when you hold me tight, ooh-wee, what you do to me? The big black hands on the clock tell me that it's time to rock. Got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Big that beat with the crazy bop when the lights are low and the music's hot. Dance from 2 to 3 and then a half past 4. When that sun peeks over the hill, I won't stop, I'll be rocking still. Got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Well, now, baby, baby, let's go tonight together, you and me. Baby, baby, when you hold me tight, ooh-wee, what you do to me? The big black hands on the clock tell me that it's time to rock. Got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Got a lot of rhythm in my soul. Thank you to the Dan River Girls for being the Jordanaires to my Patsy Cline. And thank all of you for being here and tuning in to our third show of season 4. It's Trail Days here in Elkin, North Carolina, and I want to especially welcome all of you who are in Elkin to enjoy the trails. Thanks to the Reeves for allowing us to have this slightly larger audience. It's so thrilling to see so many more people here, so this is a sign of things to come very soon. Our first guest tonight is the 2012 National Mountain Dulcimer Champion. She was on our show back in season 1, and I've been trying really hard to get her back ever since then. Will you please welcome back, all the way from Kentucky, Sarah Kate Morgan.
Oh, the dark was a-coming, and the day was a-falling, and I thought that the day was done. But the rain kept a-raining, and the clouds kept on moving. Then the rainbow filled my soul. I can see that rainbow shine. I can see that rainbow shine. Look where we are on the top of the moon. I can see that rainbow shine. I was feeling so gloomy, so tired and lonely, and I thought that the day was done. But the rain kept raining and the clouds kept on moving. Then broke out the golden sun. I can see that rainbow shine. I can see that rainbow heavy load, and your life is too hard for you. Just keep your eyes on the changing of the skies, and the light will come a-breaking through. And I can see that rainbow shine. I can see that rainbow shine. Look away over yonder on the top of the mountain. I can see that rainbow shine. Look away over yonder on the top of the mountain. I can see that rainbow shine. Look away over yonder on the top of the mountain. I can see that rainbow shine. Thank y'all.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, Martha. Hey, Martha.
Hello. What shall we do now?
We're going to do a song that was sung and made popular and made famous by two amazing matriarchs of bluegrass music. So it feels really appropriate to sing this with you. Hazel Dickens and Alice Gerard. This is Won't You Come and Sing for Me. I feel the shadows now upon me, and bright angels beckon me. Before I go, dear Christian brothers, won't you come and sing for me? Sing those hymns we sang together in that flame little church with the benches all worn. How dear to my heart, how precious the moments we share, shaking hands and singing our songs. My burden is heavy, my way has grown weary. I have traveled that road that was long, and it would ease this old heart, dear brother, if you come and sing one song. Sing those hymns we sang together in that flame, that old church where the benches all worn. How dear to my heart, how precious the memories we stood shaking hands and singing our songs. And in my home beyond the dark river, your sweet face is no more will I see. Until we meet where there's no more sad parting, won't you come and sing for me? Sing those hymns we sang together in that flame, that old church where the benches all worn. How dear to my heart, how precious the moments we shared, shaking hands and singing our songs. We stood shaking hands and singing our songs.
Sarah Kate, I heard that you first played dulcimer when you were 7 years old on an instrument that your grandfather built.
That's correct. Yeah, my grandfather, when he retired, he picked up oil painting and woodworking, and he bought a dulcimer kit. And unfortunately, he put the kit together backwards. So if I do it wrong, it's not my fault, is what I tell people. Yeah.
So you grew up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
how did you make your way to Kentucky?
Yeah, well, I went to school in Kentucky at Morehead State and studied traditional Appalachian music and Appalachian studies, and I've just been there ever since. I liked it so much. Since then I've lived in Carter County, Kentucky, but now I live in Hindman, Kentucky, which is close to Harlan. Yeah, but it's been a real close. Oh, cool! Hey, it's been a really lovely really lovely past 5 years, because it's just the scene and the old time music scene in Kentucky is really strong and supportive.
I also went to school in Kentucky. I don't know if you remember that. I went to UK.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, so we were neighbors many years apart.
I felt it, I felt it.
That Kentucky influence.
That's it.
So what is the name of the next song? I know that it's new because it didn't have a title when you sent it to us.
This song is called All Your Secrets, and it was a song that I wrote as part of a songwriting assignment. Our assignment was to write a country song, and so this song, I grew up watching the Andy Griffith Show every single day at 4 o'clock on Channel 10, 2 episodes every single day. I've seen every single episode, every single season. I can quote every single episode. If you quiz me, I will absolutely nail it without a quote. Nothing else in my life is that way, but I have that down. and so this song was very loosely based on a character from the Andy Griffith Show, and I guess you can see if you can guess it. Let me get tuned up.
When she sent it to us, it was called Sarah's Tune with Drums.
Okay, ready? Go team, let's do it. Well, nothing much happens in this town no more since you packed up your guitar and walked out my door. Your songs, they're a-playing on my radio. This town would have held you down. You went off to Nashville to sing out your heart, sending money home to Mama. You're doing your part. We hear you on Saturday on the Grand Ole Opry, but I swear you were singing to me, and you gave away all of your secrets in the very first song that you played. The lights, they were dim. You were reeling me in. You're singing all of the words you can't say. Well, TV came to our town 3 weeks ago. We gathered in our kitchens and watched how it glowed. We saw Nixon, we saw Woodstock, we saw the man on the moon. But then you came on singing a tune. gone. But after 3 years of red carpets, you don't write at all. It seems you've forgotten the muses you've had, but I still hear this town in your songs, and you gave away all of your secrets in the very first song that you played. The lights, they were dim. You were reeling me in. You're singing all of the words you can't say. You're singing all of the words you can't say.
Sarah Kate Morgan.
All right, this weekend is NC Trail Days in Elkin, North Carolina. So come on over for a visit. They'll have guided hikes, adventure film night, a low country boil, and tons of free live music. Learn more at nctraildays.com. NC Trail Days, all trails lead to Elkin. And remember, when you come to visit us in beautiful downtown, make sure you stop by the shops at 150 East Market Street, where you'll find Dirty Joe's Coffee, the Smoothie Station, Gwen and Market Mercantile, and the Barkery, home of Melissa's all-natural pet treats. The shops at 150 East Market Street, where you're sure to find something for everyone. Now, would you give a big hand for the Dan River Girls?
Thank you. Yeah.
The Dan River Girls. Well, many of you know the story. I met these girls when they were literally babies. And so it's just beautiful to see them grow into these lovely young women and amazing musicians. And they're at this crossroads in their lives, and I want each one of them to tell us what you're going to be doing next year. Let's start with Fiona, because she's the oldest.
Sure, yeah. So I just graduated from Wake Forest University a few weeks ago with the, yeah, thanks. Yeah, so with the major in math and German, and I received a study research Fulbright scholarship to, thanks, yeah, so I'll be studying in the master's degree program at Humboldt University in Berlin, Germany next year in like Egyptology and architectural history stuff, and doing a research project there as well.
Awesome. And Ellie.
Yeah, I'm just going into my third year of studying law at the University of Glasgow in Scotland.
And Jessie.
I just graduated high school from School of the Arts, and in the fall I will be attending Williams College in Massachusetts.
So this is certainly not their last appearance on this show, but it might be their last this year as a full group, and it's going to be a lot harder to book them in the future, making sure that they're all in the country at the same time. But I promise you I will do my best to have them back every opportunity that I can. So I really appreciate how the Dan River Girls have been a staple on this show and members of the band. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have another song for us?
Yes, we do.
I think we're going to take the tempo down a notch, and we're going to do a song that was written by Sarah Jarosz, based on using the words from the poem Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. So we arranged this song like 5 years ago now, maybe. So it was quite a while ago, and it kind of fell out of our repertoire, but we decided to rearrange it and redo it for this show. So hope you enjoy Annabel Lee. Many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, there lived a maiden you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. No other thought did trouble her mind but to love and be loved by me. We were children both in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged angels high coveted her and me. This was the reason long ago in a kingdom by the sea. A wind blew from a stormy cloud that took my Annabel Lee. Then her wicked brothers came to steal her away from me. Shut her up in a tomb alone, this kingdom by the sea. But no maiden's grave could sever my soul for the love that she bore for me. For the moon don't
won't be without a dream of my darling Annabelle Lee. For many years I've wandered through this kingdom by the sea. I've laid myself beside the bones of my beautiful Annabelle Lee. I'll make my bed near the rising tide, in her tomb by the sounding sea.
Wake Forest Baptist Health is the exclusive healthcare sponsor of the Martha Bassett Show. Through every stage and at every age, Wake Forest Baptist Health is here for you and your family, supporting life, health, and well-being. With more than 300 primary care and specialty locations throughout the region, and a world-class team providing comprehensive and cancer, orthopedics, cardiovascular health, and more. They're here to serve you. More at wakehealth.edu. Wake Forest Baptist Health. Care for life. Now let's get back to the show with Martha Bassett and Sarah Kate Morgan.
I know you've been doing a lot of, you had been doing a lot of performing and teaching and square dance calling before the pandemic.
Yep.
So for the past year, I understand you've been living on a farm with a group of friends. Will you tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, I graduated right at the cusp of the pandemic. So I sort of sheltered out the pandemic on a farm in eastern Kentucky with some good friends, and I was there to learn a little bit about instrument restoration and maintenance. So I worked on some guitars and some upright basses, and sort of taking old instruments and getting them playable again, which was really fun. And milked a lot of cows, did a lot of swimming, weeded a lot of weeds, and accidentally weeded up things I shouldn't have been weeding, but that's a different story. But yeah, it was a good way to kind of shelter out the pandemic.
It sounds like a lot more fun than what most of us had. I was watching her on Facebook the whole time, and she was gardening and learning how to quilt and just doing all these great things.
Living my pastoral dream.
Perfect. I also noticed the last time you were here, it was 4 years ago, so you're duing a lot more songwriting now than you were back then.
Yeah. It's that's been something that has come up while I was started at Morehead State, and sort of something I continued with, and it's hard writing songs.
It really
it's
is.
very hard.
Yeah. So did you find that you were more fruitful with that during the pandemic? Or?
No. I think I'm such an extrovert, and I get so inspired by being around other musicians that it was really tough, like keeping excited about playing music while you're not playing music ever.
Were your friends on the farm, were they musicians as well?
They were, so that was good. That was really helpful. But I was telling Ben that when I go home from here, I'm going to be really excited about practicing, because I've just been playing with y'all. So I'm an extrovert emerging from the pandemic. I mean, y'all better watch out. Here I come.
Oh. Well, do you have another song for us?
Sure. Speaking of songwriting and sort of Kentucky songwriting, this is a song that was written by Jean Ritchie, who is sort of the matriarch of the mountain dulcimer. She ushered the mountain dulcimer into the public consciousness around the folk movement. And she was from my neck of the woods, from over in Vapor, Kentucky. And this is a song she wrote called West Virginia Coal Mine Disaster, and it's based on a mining disaster that happened in 1968 in the Hominy Falls, a number 8 mine in West Virginia, where a continuous mining machine punched through the wall of an active mine into an uncharted abandoned mine that had filled up with water, and it ended up stranding many miners for up to 10 days. And this was a song that she wrote sort of talking about the experience of being the family of a coal miner, and there's lots of coal mining still happening in eastern Kentucky, and they're always finding new ways to extract value from Appalachia, and But Jean really lent her voice to this and the female experience. And I'm going to finish it up with a fiddle tune called Goodbye Honey, I'm Gone. It's a Bath County, Kentucky tune. Oh, say, did you see him? It was early this morning. He passed by your houses on his way to the cold. He was tall, he was slender, and his dark eyes so tender. His occupation was mining, West Virginia his home. It was just before noon, I was feeding the children when Mosley came running to bring us the news. Number 8 was all flooded, many men were in danger, and we don't know their number, but we fear they're all doomed. So I picked up the baby and I left all the others to comfort each other and to pray for their own. There is Tommy, 14, and there's John, not much younger, and their time soon is coming to go down the dark hole. And if I had the money to do more than just feed them, I'd give them good learning, the best could be found. So when they growed up, they'd be checkers and weighers, and not spend their whole lives in the dark underground. What will I say to his poor little children? And what will I tell to his mother at home? And what will I say to my heart that's clear broken? To my heart that's clear broken, now my darling is gone. Kate. Thank you so much, Martha Bassett.
You know, it occurred to me backstage that there might be some folks in the audience who are not familiar with the instrument you're playing.
Yeah, sure.
Will you
I can
tell
talk
us
about it.
Yeah, please do.
It's one of my many favorite subjects. This is called the mountain dulcimer. It's a traditional Appalachian instrument. It's the state instrument of Kentucky. For those of you who are listening, you're just hearing 3 strings. There's 3 strings on the instrument. It has a diatonic fretboard, which means I don't have a lot of the notes that other instruments do, because I don't need them. Okay. Listen, if I had them, I wouldn't know what to do with them. Yeah. But it's a traditional Appalachian instrument related to the zither and the shyholt that are European instruments. Yeah.
Well, you sure play it well.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love this next song.
I'm glad.
Where does this come from?
This is another one of mine. I've been writing a lot of songs lately that are not really gospel, but they're not really not gospel. So I'm trying to work on a new genre that I'm calling gospel adjacent. We'll see how it takes off. Look on the Spotify charts.
I told her I was going to sing it at my church.
Good. This is called Heaven in My Mind. I'm not in tune. That's the beauty of being able to go back and fix it.
We were talking about this earlier. I told Sarah Kate, you can stop and start again. Anytime. There have been times that I wished I had done that. So.
Life is too short to play an out-of-tune instrument.
Yes.
Okay. Pretend you've never heard this before. I can see my daddy coming home from helping a lamb to be born in the early dawn, the early dawn. I can see my mama and her snow-white hair asleeping in her reading chair, talking to God, talking to God. That's where my weary feet will be when I leave this world and in heaven be. It might not be what you'd expect to find, but that's heaven in my mind. Heaven in my mind. I'm gonna see my friends and neighbors there, passing the time in folding chairs under the shade, under the shade. I'm gonna walk down to a swimming hole, let the muddy water soothe my soul and make me whole, make me whole. That's where my weary feet will be when I leave this world and in heaven be. It might not be what you'd expect to find, but that's heaven in my mind. Heaven in my mind. I'm gonna see the ones the world forgot and pushed aside without a thought, without a name, without a name. I'm gonna see the ones the church refused to
to love, although their hearts are pure, and their hands did good. Their hands did good. That's where my weary feet will be when I leave this world and in heaven be. It might not be what you'd expect to find, but that's heaven in my mind. Heaven in my mind. I'm gonna sit on heaven's front porch swing, watching the lightning bugs light up the rain. I'm gonna throw my fishing line into Jordan's stormy banks with you. That might not be what you'd expect to find, but that's heaven in my mind. Heaven in my mind. Heaven in my mind.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sarah Kate. We've got one more song, and we're going to take a short intermission, and we will be right back. So we're gonna, Sarah Kate is going to take us out on one more song. What is this song?
This is a fiddle tune written by the great mandolin player Carl Jones called "The Big Mimosa Split and the Chimney Fell."
Great title.
You all know it. Sing along.
Started. Welcome back to the second half of the Martha... Oh, Ben, are we live? Is that 2 flashes or 1? We're ready to go. We do 2 flashes, and I didn't ask first. Welcome back to the second half of the Martha Bassett Show, featuring the Dan River Girls, Sarah Kate Morgan, and Dom Flemons. Remember, you can listen to us weekly on 88.5 WFDD. Follow the entire schedule, listen to past radio shows, and subscribe to our podcast at marthabassettshow.com. Our next live streaming show is in 2 weeks on June 17th, and will feature Sam Freibush and the Organ Trio and Martha Spencer. Now, here's a special treat to start our second half. Rex McGee and Jesse Burdette of the Dan River Girls will perform a little number for 2 banjos by one of our finest songwriters, Johann Sebastian Bach. Let's give him a hand.
Rex McGee and Jesse Burdette. Well, our next guest is a Grammy Award winner, 2-time Emmy nominee, 2020 U.S. Artist Fellow, and founding member of the Carolina Chocolate Drops. Tonight, you'll get a taste of the many instruments that he plays, as well as his vast repertoire covering over 100 years of American popular music, as well as writing his own music. Please welcome the American songster, Mr. Dom Flemons.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, Martha. And so much wonderful music on this stage here tonight. It's wonderful to be able to join you. Now, I'm going to start off with a little piece that I learned many years ago from a fiddler from Alamance County, a fellow by the name of Joe Thompson. And this is a piece called Old Cindy Gal. Now, I'm not going to play it on fiddle and banjo like I learned it originally. I changed it around a bit. I changed it so it could feature the rhythm bones and the harmonica. Old Cindy Gal. Oh, Cindy gal, oh, Cindy gal, oh, Cindy gal, where'd you stay last night? Oh, Cindy gal, oh, Cindy gal, oh, Cindy gal, you done crossed the river last night.
Thank you, Dom.
Thank you, Martha.
So you released a record in 2018 on Smithsonian Folkways called Dom Flemons Presents Black Cowboys.
That's correct.
And you are from Arizona.
Yep, from Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised.
So do you have cowboy roots?
Well, you know, it's a funny thing, Martha. I didn't think I had cowboy roots at first. And part of the reason I started the project was two different things. I found a book years back when I was traveling. When I was still living in North Carolina. I was traveling out west back to Arizona, and I found around the Painted Desert Park, the state park, I found a book called The Negro Cowboys in the Gift Shop. And it spoke about how about 1 in 4 cowboys who helped settle the West were African American cowboys. And I hadn't heard that before. And so in the course of reading that book, I then came across an album of field recordings of John and Alan Lomax, and it featured a lot of black cowboy songs sung by some of the early people that they recorded in the 1930s. And so with those two sort of pieces of historical, items, ephemera and music all together, I started searching and finding stories, and the album was sort of a way to be able to comprehensively talk about black Western culture in a way. But it expanded out much farther than just cowboys. And when you ask about my cowboy roots, as I started to read about some of these early pioneers, I began to think about my father's parents who came out from East Texas and Arkansas and how they came out to Flagstaff, Arizona. And my grandfather particularly, he started a church in a town called Holbrook, Arizona, out on Route 66. And he was a sawmill worker 6 days a week, and he was a preacher of the Church of God in Christ on Sunday. And so thinking about all that stuff, it then turned into a much bigger idea of westward expansion and the idea of people moving from one place to the other to build a better life. And so I found I did have cowboy roots after all.
That's really interesting. Do you have a cowboy song to share with us?
Yeah, I've got one of the songs I wrote for the Black Cowboys album. This is one that I wrote after reading the autobiography of one of the famous black cowboys of the West, a fellow by the name of Nat Love. And he was a fellow who was born into slavery, and after emancipation, he became a cowboy. And then after doing that for several decades, he actually got disgusted when the West began to get fenced off. And he then became a Pullman porter, working on the railroad line, living in Chicago. And so that transition of life from working a horse and buggy in the field all the way into working as a Pullman porter on the train line, that was such a big jump to me that all of a sudden I realized that the black cowboys didn't disappear, they just evolved into something else. And that was in of itself a different way of thinking of American history. And so that's why I ended up writing this song. Because my grandfather passed away before I got to really ask him about these things. Because he told me a little bit about growing up on the farm, but like a lot of people who grew up on the farm that move away from it, he wasn't interested in really going back to talk about it. And so he didn't really tell me much about that. But when I began to tell my father about it, all of a sudden my dad told me a story he'd never told me before. He told me that he apprenticed as a Pullman porter before he came down to Phoenix, where I was born and raised. And so I found there was an elaborate story of that Pullman porter culture that went through my own family culture. And so I started trying to think about that and wrote this little song here. I caught my steel pony, and boys, I'm gonna ride. When you get down to Holbrook, you won't find me there. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. 'Cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Getting far too old to follow this here herd. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. 'Cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Go ahead and get 6. Now they call me Mr. Flemons, 'cause I'm a pool porter now. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. 'Cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Go on down the trail. Now they call me Mr. Flemons, 'cause I done tore that guitar down. Good Lord, I caught the first thing smoking down the road somewhere. Now when you get over there, you won't find me, 'cause I caught my steel pony and boys, I'm gonna ride. Get on down there one more time, 6. Yep. Go ahead.
Mr. Don Flemons.
The Martha Bassett Show is supported in part by Explore Elkin, your one-stop travel source for the Yadkin Valley and beyond. If you're looking for hometown charm, historic landmarks, Main Street shopping, and fine dining, come stay a while in downtown Elkin. Let Explore Elkin help you find your trail. You can learn more on Facebook or at exploreelkin.com. Support for the Martha Bassett Show also comes from these fine downtown Elkin businesses: the Elk Pharmacy, Yoga on Main, Coley Hall at the Liberty, Angry Troll Brewing, Yadkin Valley Quilts, and Fruition.
ask the Dan River girls to back me up on this beautiful song that comes from the late, great John Prine and Pat McLaughlin. Thank you.
I've been down this road before. I remember every tree, every single blade of grass holds a special place for me. And I remember every town and every hotel room, every song I ever sang on a guitar out of tune. I remember everything, things I can't forget. The way you turned and smiled on me on the night that we first met. And I remember every night your ocean eyes of blue. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew. I've been down this road before, alone as I can be, careful not to let my past go sneaking up on me. Got no future in my happiness, though regrets are very few. Sometimes a little tenderness was the best that I could do. I remember everything, things I can't forget. Swimming pools of butterflies that slipped right through the net. And I remember every night your ocean eyes of blue. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew.
Thank you. I'm going to turn over the stage to the Dan River girls for a couple of songs.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so we're really excited to be back here, getting to perform together in this beautiful theater. And Ellie actually just got back from Scotland about 10 days ago, but we've had a lot of fun working on these songs for the past week for you. So now Jesse's going to talk about the next one.
Yeah, so about 2 weeks ago, I was listening to a playlist on Spotify, and I got to the end of the playlist, and then it started playing random songs that it thought I would like. And the first one, I was like, ooh, this is pretty cool. So then when Ellie got back and we started talking about what songs we should do, I was like, hey, can we do this one, please? And they were like, sure. So this is Shalala by Haley Hendricks. The milk is sour, I've barely been to college, and I've been doubtful of all that I have dreamed of. The brink of my existence essentially is a comedy, the gap in my teeth, and all that I can cling to. The milk is sour. Shalala, 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 shalala. Milk is sour with olives on my thumbs, and all that I have stuck to and all that I have clung to. I felt like a dog world that I have trusted is bent over and busted and rusted by an arbitrary sonogram. Sha-la-la, 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 sha-la-la. Milk is sour with olives on my thumbs, and I've been doubtful of all that I have clung to. The brink of my existence essentially is a comedy, the gap in my teeth, and all that I have clung to. The milk is sour. Sha-la-la, 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 sha-la-la. If you never go outside, well, nothing's gonna happen. She'll never write her number on a crumpled up napkin. She'll never be your ego. She'll never be a bandit. She'll never get to eat you like your heart's a pomegranate. I'm throwing out the milk. The olives got old. I'm tired of my mind getting heavy with mold. I need to start a garden. 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 I'm gonna start a garden in my backyard. I'm gonna start a garden in my backyard. 'Cause making this song up is just as hard. Yeah, making this song up is just as hard. Sha-la-la, 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 sha-la. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. All right, so anyone who has seen us perform before knows that we have Scottish roots. Our mom is from Edinburgh, and I am currently studying in Glasgow. So we thought we had to do a Scottish set for you guys. The first one is a tune called The Youngest Ancient Mariner, and we'll follow that up with a jig called The Gale. And some of you may recognize it because it was used as a theme song in the movie Last of the Mohicans.
the Dan River Girls.
The Martha Bassett Show comes to you from the Reeves Theater and Cafe, downtown Elkin's newly renovated landmark. Originally opened as an Art Deco movie theater in 1941, it was fully operational until 1973 and then restored and reopened in 2018. The Reeves Theater will begin ticketed shows on June 25th and 26th for the Elkin Roots Music Fest. They'll welcome the Jeff Little Trio, Will Jones, and the Reeves House Band with special guests Beth McGee, Big Ron Hunter, and Luke Mears. Learn more at reevestheater.com. Now let's get back to the stage with Martha Bassett and Dom Flemons.
Dom, I understand that you are involved with an organization based here in North Carolina called Music Maker Relief Foundation. Will you tell us a little bit about what Music Maker does and how you're involved with them?
Absolutely. Music Maker Relief Foundation, they're based out of Hillsborough, North Carolina, and they're a nonprofit organization whose sole purpose is to help, in a case-by-case situation, Southern music practitioners who are tradition bearers in different ways. A lot of times, many of the traditional musicians that we all know and love come across hard times, and Music Maker helps out in some type of way. You know, actually, Big Ron Hunter is a Music Maker artist that I've worked and I've worked with him quite a bit over the years. And I've been on the advisory board since 2009, and they've been just a wonderful organization in allowing me to go deeper into the story of Southern music on a practical level outside of just playing music with people. And so I've gotten a chance to travel all over the world with some of these wonderful tradition bearers of different types, all the way from Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, New Orleans, and Alabama. And you know, it kind of rubbed off in my music in some type of way. So it's been really wonderful to work with them. And also, with working with Music Maker, another part of my work with them is doing tintype photography, wet plate collodions. And so Timothy Duffy and I, we started to work together doing tintypes, doing old-time photographs. And that started with me laying my instruments out like an old junk shop photo, all the way into the Black Cowboys features several of the tintypes. And yeah, we've gotten to do a lot of wonderful things together.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like very gratifying work, so thank you for doing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where are you living right now?
Right now, I'm up in Chicago. I was actually, after living in North Carolina for many years, I was living in Washington, D.C. for the past 3 years. And actually, when the shutdown happened, I had a lot of educational programming and programming for Alzheimer and dementia patients. And so that kind of all went away. So I moved the family up there to be near my wife's family. And so that's been a new thing for me, you know. Did that right toward the end of last year, and been enjoying it though. But I've always kept on the road, and I've always been traveling since 2005, you know. And that started when I was so inspired by the traditional music of North Carolina. When I first came here, I went to Boone for the first time in 2005, and I enjoyed that mountain life. But then I decided I wanted to get down from the mountain, though, when I decided to live here. So I got to know a little bit of the whole state through different educational programming and whatnot, you know. And yeah, so it's been a wonderful journey.
Well, speaking of journeys, where are you heading next? What is coming up in your life?
Well, I mean, you know, I've had a couple of different releases that I've been a part of. I got to be a part of Tyler Childers' record, Long Violent History, so I got to play as a part of that record. I got to do actually I did a record at Sun Studios in Memphis, Tennessee with Steve Cropper and Rev Payton, a version of Shake Your Money Maker from Elmore James, so I got to do that. The Black Cowboys is still an album that people are still very moved by. And then there was a cultural revolution in pop culture that came the year after I put out Black Cowboys. So then all of a sudden everybody was talking about Black Cowboys. You know, it was after 10 years of talking about it, then I found everybody else wanted to as well.
started a trend.
That's the idea, you know. But it's always been one of those things that I've tried to do. Early on, I came across a proverb from a mentor of mine, a proverb called Sankofa, which is a West African proverb that means go back and fetch it in English. And it means taking the things from the past into the present, leading it into the future. And so I've always tried to do that with my music and whatever type of music I happen to be doing.
It's infectious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Will you share more music with us, please?
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Martha Bassett, everybody, by the way. One of the first artists I got to hear playing the Piedmont style of guitar playing was a woman by the name of Elizabeth Cotton, and I heard her on record. And I'm going to do a little medley of train songs. I'll start off with her famous song, Freight Train, and then I'm going to roll into a music maker artist, Etta Baker, from Morganton, North Carolina, and her famous version of Railroad Bill. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the Cannonball Blues from a fellow by the name of Leslie Riddle, who was from Burnsville, North Carolina. And Leslie Riddle, you may not have heard his name, but he traveled around with A.P. Carter in the early days of the Carter family. And he was an African-American man that he would capture the melodies, as the story goes. He would capture the melodies while A.P. was writing the words down. And so I'm going to do one of his songs, Cannonball Blues, which, of course, the Carter family recorded. This is going to be all instrumental here just to kind of show off a little bit of the beauty of this style. I'll get one more, real slow though. And I was picking pretty good before I left Arizona, but once I started working with some of the artists at Music Maker, that's when I really started to learn to pick in a whole different way. And I always think about all the wonderful times I got to travel all over the country. I've been all the way from Brasstown to Edenton, you know, and Dudley and Goldsboro in between, beside the main town. So I've been been a little bit everywhere. This next one here, I'm gonna play a little 5-string banjo. This is a special one here made for me by a fellow named Bob Thornburg, who I got to know through Mike Seeger, who some of you may have heard from New Lost City Ramblers, and he was a great banjo player and all-around musician on his own. Now this is a gourd banjo, and it's made with a calabash body, and it's meant to replicate some of the early banjos that were played by African Americans when the banjo was still a homemade instrument that was played around the home before it became a popular instrument known all over the country and the world. And this one's a special one. These have these little birds. These are Sankofa birds. I had mentioned the proverb before, and sort of a way to depict the proverb. These Sankofa birds are depicted as birds flying forward but touching their beak to their back wing, representing the lessons from the past going into the present as it's flying forward. And I've always thought of the banjo as being sort of a question mark instrument and a personification of Sankofa in a way, you know, because the banjo can be played so many different ways. This is another one I learned from Joe Thompson from Alamance County, and this is a piece called Great Big Eight, he used to call this one. Used to do some square dance calls, and I might do a little bit of a Steel Driving Man, which was his version of John Henry, to kind of dovetail into it. Let's see what we can do here. All right, let me see. Ooh, hold on, let me get that string. It's been a while since this gourd's been to the good old sunny south, and the humidity, it took a hit. Let me see what we can do here. It's just one string, though, you know, that's how... That's all you really need, and since that one string went out, that's just all I needed. Let me see, hold on now, let's see what we can do. This one also has violin friction pegs too, so that makes it all the easier. There we go, that's going to get me for the minute. Hopefully it'll get me 3 minutes at least. drunk and fell off the wagon. Old corn liquor was still on dragging. I got drunk and I fell off the wagon. Old corn liquor was still on dragging. Old corn liquor was the call of it all. Old corn liquor was the call of it all. Old corn liquor was the call of it all. Old corn liquor was the cause of it all. I got drunk and I lost my head. Old corn liquor was the cause of that. Old corn liquor. Old corn liquor. Old corn liquor. Old corn liquor. 16 times, 16 times, and 16 times, and 16 times, and then promise your partner when you get home. Driving man. Steel driving man, don't you see, Lordy? Steel driving man, don't you see? Died with a hammer in his hand. Died with a hammer in his hand. Now, since I was able to drive down, I was able to bring my good friend Big Head Joe with me. Now, Big Head Joe is a unique banjo. He's a one-of-a-kind six-string banjo, a guitar banjo. Now, most guitar banjos are a little bit smaller than this one, but Big Head Joe is a custom-made instrument that was made in the late teens, early 1920s. He's about 100 years old now. And he was created to be a part of the Clef Club Orchestra, which was an orchestra that broke the color line in Carnegie Hall back in 1912. And it was led by a fellow who was a veteran of the First World War, a fellow by the name of James Reese Europe. And he introduced ragtime to New York City for the very first time. And so what James Reese Europe did is that he presented an orchestra of banjos. I mean, can you believe it? 120 banjos pitched to the different parts of the orchestra. I know some people are like, bless his heart for doing that, you know. But 2 banjos sometimes can be a lot, you know. But 120, he had mandolin banjos, he had regular 5 strings, small 5 strings, piccolo banjos, and then he even had harp guitar banjos, and then even banjos like this one, which is sort of like the second tier from the bottom. And this has just a beautiful sound to it. And I had to pick this thing up because of this. And this beautiful sound. Also, one of the very first bluesmen to make popular records who was self-accompanied. Papa Charlie Jackson played a banjo similar to this one as well. And I also had to champion a little bit of that cause. But today I'm going to do a song that comes from a songster by the name of Henry Thomas. And at one point you might have heard his song Fishin' Blues. A lot of people have done that song. Taj Mahal, Lovin' Spoonful, and a lot of people. But I'm going to do one of his old square dance numbers, one called Charmin' Betsy. And I'm going to play an instrument that Henry Thomas featured on his early recordings, an instrument called the quills, which are known as the panpipes in many parts of the world, but the Americanized version is known as the quills. And, well, with this combination, I'll just have to show you why I had to pick up both of these instruments. Let's see if I can get my advanced technology to work right up around my face. I'm sure that the sound men are not going to let that on the radio, that first couple of notes, but we'll get it. Clean start, take two.
I'm going around the mountain, charming Betsy, going around the mountain to a lead. If I never see you no more, do Lord remember me. First time I seen charming Betsy, on everything that you see. Last time I seen charming Betsy, she wearing that ball and chain. Yes, I'm going around the mountain, charming Betsy, going around the mountain to Lee. If I never see you no more, do Lord remember me. Betsy's going on down the line, wine glass in her hand, going after her old man. These are the very words she said. She's gonna say, oh my babe, take me back. I'm done the world, Lord, take me back. Sunday morning won't seem wrong. You gonna call me, I'll be gone. She turned around 2 and 3 times, said, my babe, take me back, take me back, take me back. Well, my babe, take me back. Make me one pal on your floor, make me one pal on your floor. Oh, make a pallet soft and low. Won't you make it so your man will never know? Oh, make it so your man will never know. Make it so your man will never know. Oh, make a pallet soft and low. Won't you make it so your man will never know? 'Cause I'm looking for that bully of the town, looking for that bully of the town. I'm looking for that bully can't be found. I'm looking for that bully, lay me down.
Thank you so much, folks. Now, this next one I'm going to do one more banjo breakdown, but this one's going to be with the 4-string banjo, the plectrum. When I first started out playing, I was given a banjo in Arizona by a friend of mine who took the 5th string out. He was a guitar player, and he didn't like that little string bothering him much. And so I learned how to play with 4 strings, not knowing that 5 were required to do frailing or clawhammer or scrug style or any of those styles. So I just ended up picking up a certain way of playing it. And when I went to the Black Banjo Gathering, which was an academic event on the African roots of the banjo, I was introduced to an album called Altamont, which was an album featuring early black string band music from the Library of Congress. And I found this little number here, Po Black Sheep, and it really moved me in a certain type of way. And I'm going to see if I can pull out just a few of the stops, if not all of them, on this breakdown. Get this microphone back a little bit. So here's a little bit of Po Black Sheep for you.
They went to the pasture, sheep said go to bed and get a little faster. Wake snake days are breaking, the peas in the pot and whole cakes baking. Tell you nothing, all I want from this creation, 3 weeks works, 5 vacations. Tell the boss you just fine, daytime's his, nighttime's mine. Oh, let me Po Black Sheep. Po Black Sheep ain't got no mammy. Why don't you tell me your name first? Yeah, I can excuse this banjo. It's a little bit of an old banjo, you know. Now, I see you going down the street with a pretty gal, banjo. Why don't you tell me her name? That's a nice girl. Southern Belle. And where you taking her? I'm going to Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Now, if you're going down to Bama, banjo, you better run fast. A little faster than that. Come on now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm going to do just one last one for you in my set here tonight. And once again, it's been a pleasure to be on the Martha Bassett Show with you. And this is a piece that I've gotten to play on the Grand Ole Opry a whole bunch of different times. This is one that I based it around the style of D. Ford Bailey, and I kind of mashed it up with a fellow from Gaston County style, Gwen Foster, who played with the Carolina Tar Heels, and this is a little fiddle tune called There's a Brown-Skinned Girl Down the Road Somewhere. And so, like I started, I'll end it out with a little bit of harmonica, too.
Dom, what a pleasure.
Thank you.
And what a pleasure this entire night has been. Thank you all for being here with us. Thanks to all of those who are tuning in tonight on the live stream. And I want to just give another thanks to the Dan River Girls. And to Sarah Kate Morgan. And Mr. Don Flemons. I don't want to forget our special guest band member tonight, Mr. Rex McGee. And as always, thanks to the Reeves Theater for hosting us. Dom, are you going to count this one off?
Yeah, I think I will. Now, we're going to play one that's an old favorite for any type of band. This is a piece called Mama Don't Allow, and I think we got the players to make this one happen, make it happen really nice. So let's go ahead and get it. Everybody feeling good? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You all feeling good? Yeah. Right on. 1, 2.
Well, Mama don't allow no music play right here. Mama don't allow no music play right here. Now we don't care what Mama don't allow, gonna play our music anyhow. Mama don't allow no music play right here. Now Mama don't allow no banjo picking right here. Mama don't allow no banjo picking right here. Rex don't care what Mama don't allow, gonna pick his banjo anyhow. Go on, get it, Rex. Go on, get it, Rex. Yeah, take it to the left and the bone. Around here, Sarah Kate don't get what Mama don't allow. Gonna play the Appalachian Mountain Dulcimer anyhow. Go on, get it, cow. Go on, get it, yeah. Right here. Fiona don't care what Mama don't like, gonna play that mandolin anyhow. Go on, get it, gal. Go on, get it, gal. Yeah, yeah. Well, Mama don't like no fiddling right here. Don't want no fiddle-lee-lee-lee down here. Just don't care what Mama don't allow, gonna play that fiddle anyhow. Go on, just, go on, just. Yeah, now Mama don't allow no bass playing right here. Don't want no double dog house round here. Pat Ellie don't care what Mom don't allow. Gonna get low, low, low anyhow. Get low, low, low. That's the way you gotta go. Around here. Well, Mama don't allow no harmonica around here. I don't care what Mama don't allow. Yeah, Mama don't allow that. And
all for tuning in and to our small but mighty live audience. Let's hear it for the Dan River Girls, Sarah Kate Morgan, and the American songster, Dom Flemons. The band tonight was Rex McGee and me, Pat Lawrence, on bass. Our interstitial music tonight was composed by Russell Kelly. A big thanks to the Reeves Theater and staff and the beautiful town of Elkin, North Carolina. Jeff Irving, Doug Williams, and Sophie Pedersen handled the sound, and Ben Singer and Eric Delata provided our broadcast. You all travel safe. It's the Martha Bassett Show. Good music for good people.